For most people, including, surprisingly, some people who have been associated to Sufism or to Tariqa, they think that spirituality is something to do with everything that stands beyond the rational understanding of the world. So the people believe that there is a wall of rationality, which is the things I understand, and then there is the spiritual world. And this is totally wrong. Remember that our life is composed of a number of events, activities, professional or otherwise, the frustrations of reaching where we thought we could and we couldn't, the expectations of a life that is built around you and your impotence to be able to deal with it, your own mistakes in life, and the recomposing, the justifications of activities for which you know this is not something I would like to do, but yet I have to do it because it is justified by these and these reasons. All these world of little threads of justification, frustration, understanding, etc., which is our world, is what is blown away with tasawwuf. This little world of relationships and things we make up, the things are like this because I think they are, etc., how we compose that, how we entangle ourselves with our quotidian, everyday world. In this context, in this composition of the world, tasawwuf then appears in the context of the things that escape management. Okay? And that's precisely when you look at how spirituality is dealt with, is always presented as like extra-natural thing. No? I remember one time, and I think it was the first time I visited Pakistan, we were visiting some of the ulama, and also we went to visit the Sufi sheikhs. And so we ended up in some big zawiya, and we were speaking with the fuqara. It was 3 of us. And one of them asked us, what does your sheikh do? And what he meant by that is his sheikh could bring smoke from places and do extra-natural things. And so he was asking me, what does he do? You know, he's kind of he uses swords and cut himself with the swords. He flies in the air or something of that kind. And we were quite astonished with the question and the expectations of the answer. So we told him, well, our sheikh teaches Marifatullah. And the man left us like thinking, wow, this man knows nothing. And this is because spirituality has gone into this kind of realm, or in certain aspects has become like this. This is perhaps an extreme version. But for the majority of the people, it always represents something which is beyond the rational world that we have. So no, tasawwuf and spirituality builds up from something so profound in us that it alters, actually smashes all this composition of logic, that world that we create, and we can recompose it again according to different patterns and different hopes and different intentions. And on the basis of that, it deals with those questions precisely, like, for example, the frustrations of a life that has not achieved its true potential, doing something that you don't want to truly do, to be able to overcome the mistakes that you have done, the justifications, the fears, the shame that creates a world in which most people inhabit. So the person who lives under this world created by himself, he is suffering continuously because none of his expectations will be fulfilled. The only answer to expectations being unfulfilled is to reduce the expectations, to make them always smaller, which over a period of time, they become too narrow, too small to live with. So it will remove all this, and it will reorganize all that world according to an extraordinarily different way. For example, anxiety, depression, and things of the kind.